leaving my phone out even though I don't know if it's rude or not to like leave your phone out during YouTube. Yeah, it probably is. Oh, wait. Almost forgot. I know that looks really stupid, but it's necessary for syncing up the sound, which I suck at. Hey, I just want to tell a funny story about this little cat thing. My dad got it for me as a joke because I just moved upstate about 4 years ago, but most of my life I lived in Manhattan. And in Manhattan, like, when you see one of these in, like, the window of an Asian tanning salon, you know, they have happy endings, so to speak. So, yes, my family has a strange sense of humor. Anyway, so what are we going to talk about today? We could talk about the fact that I look like a pirate, but that's not very interesting. It's just because my cat bitch slapped me. And, yep, I look like a pirate. Arr. Am I looking at the camera? I can't even tell if I'm looking at the camera. Anyway, I guess, I want to talk today a little bit. I've been, like, covering the hell out of bipolar and all that shit, and I don't think anybody really gives a crap about any of it. I'm not even sure I do. But, I want to talk a little bit about drugs. Drugs have been a big part of my life. Yes, I was probably self-medicating. I hate that term. But, I developed, like, a real problem. And, my drugs of choice were, I was a garbage head, pretty much anything, that was available, but heroin and cocaine mostly, IV, and I overdosed a lot of times. I went to rehab, not quite as many times as I went to psych hospitals, but up there, like at least 20-something times. I nearly died a bunch of times. But what I'd like to talk about today are not my, like, druggy credentials or whatever, but, the so-called, so-called opioid epidemic. Opioid. I don't know if I spelled that right. And even though I just said it, and it's kind of redundant to do this whole, like, writing thing, I've been doing this, so, why the hell not, right? Get back here, black marker, I need you. So, there we go. So here's the thing with the opioid epidemic, and this is all, like, my theories, and I'm not a doctor, I'm not a professional or anything, I'm just a, drug-loving individual, though I pretty much don't really do them anymore, because I don't want to die, anytime soon, and I was definitely on my way, but, opioids are an interesting class of drug because they sort of, no matter what kind we're talking about, whether it's heroin or fentanyl or codeine or morphine or hydromorphone or whatever, there's a million variations and a plethora of choices out there on the way to, getting narcotized. But the key feature of all these drugs is that they dull the outside world, and they dull the experience of pain, both real somatic pain, physical pain, and emotional pain. And the very fact that that is an epidemic right now, sorry, a little uncomfortable, kind of is worrisome to me, and I think it should be, something that we should be worried about on a cultural level. I mean, people don't like their lives. They are trying to escape them in any way they can, and a lot of people are turning to ways that are so dangerous that, they're dying like flies. And what this says about us, as not just Americans, but as human beings. I mean, other countries are having this same problem, is that something's gone wrong, People have just this nihilistic worldview and this generalized sort of fear and emptiness that's all pervasive, and to the point where people just can't stand it and they have to medicate it in order just to get through their day. And that's bad news. I mean, I don't know how you have a country or countries or anything, civilization, if nobody wants to be there, or nobody cares enough to show up, or if just everyday life is so oppressive and depressing that nobody, that, and then it's mostly young people. I mean, I don't want to overgeneralize, but it's mostly young people, and it's scary because these people, they're looking at their whole lives in front of them, and they should be, at the sort of the apex of their lives. They're never going to feel better about themselves, and right now they're young, their bodies should be healthy and all that, but there's just this wave of sadness and despair that's overtaken all of us. And when I say all of us, I really mean all of us. I think that, no matter what your politics are, or, what your ethical beliefs or moral or religious or whatever, I mean, nobody, unless there's something really wrong with you, wants other people to suffer. And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing people suffering. And we have to ask ourselves, why? Yeah, that was rude. I'm sorry. Oh my god, I feel so bad. Just when I was talking about, like, the lassitude and apathy of today's, it's not just youth. I mean, you know, everybody, I think, feels this way to some degree. We just, we seem to have given up. And I think opioids, or the opioid epidemic, is but one symptom of that, that just, I don't even know how to put it. It's like sort of a self-genocide, you know? It's like we're destroying ourselves. And I don't even think that's a word or a term or a phrase or whatever, but that's kind of what it is. I mean, does anybody really think that a culture this messed up is going to flourish? It's not. And just addressing the opioid epidemic, that's not going to do it. You know, maybe you'll save some lives with some Narcan kits, congratulations. But that's not addressing the real problem. And the real problem is real serious. And I have to go call my friend back. This has been a real downer of a video, but I think it is important to talk about this stuff, because, you know, it's an important topic. Anyhow, by the time my next video hits the airwaves, I probably won't have this nifty patch, but just enjoy it now. Like, pretend this is a parrot. Arr, arr. No, I'd make a terrible parrot. I mean, you know what I mean. Oh, shit. Alrighty. Hope that worked.